Hi everyone, so very good afternoon, good morning, and good evening for those people who have joined across the globe. Hope I'm audible. Hi Anjali, how are you doing? Hope you're doing great. Let me know if I'm audible, and then we can proceed it further with the agenda of the session, whole session. We have been waiting for connecting for long to discuss more about a couple of polls which we have asked in our session. One of the major poll people want to get answered is, what is the main struggle in trading today? Most of the people said that finding good entries, controlling emotions, managing risk, and being patient, right? What is the solution for that? That's what we are going to discuss in this session. At the same time, a couple of other polls, if I just go back and check in our community. So the one interesting poll was, what is the one particular strategy or thing you would like to focus on today's analysis? Most of them said live chart analysis and real-time setups and breakdown or markups, market setups. That's what we are going to discuss. Hi Nikhil, thank you so much for confirming. And we will also discuss most thing which is uncommon in trading industry. Most of them speak about the profits they generate, but many of them won't even speak about the risk management and the risk which is associated with this. So in order to proceed further for you as a trader, we have created a great platform called E2T prop platform, which you can utilize it. So today's agenda, uh, the later session, we'll be taking you through a live trade if any good setup arises today at 1:30 p.m. Currently we are at 12:30. So 1 hour we will discuss couple of things, including risk management strategy and some of the learnings which I have recently acquired by reading the book called The Best Loser Wins from Tom Hogarth, also which resonates most of the things which Mark Douglas has discussed, and couple of entry models, couple of things, couple of tips for you guys to improve your trading psychology, risk management, and how you can redefine the way you are doing and how you can become 10x better trader than what you are doing today. So that's what we are going to discuss in this whole session. Also, some of the people have already joined to our E2T prop, and they have a couple of questions regarding how do I place my orders, how do I make it better, how do I trade with E2T prop within 2% risk limit. I will also take you through a journal which I use, and with respect to the morning the notes which I've posted, the trading plan which I've posted, I'll also take you through the plan for the day for the New York session. So this is what we are going to discuss for the whole session today. Hope my audio is good enough, and I want this session to be an interactive one rather than just a one-way communication. If possible, could you please say hi, hello, and if it is audible for you, could you please comment it down, your name and which part of the world you guys have joined from, so that it will be much more easy for me to, rather than looking at the screen and discussing, I can make it interactive as much as possible I can. Let me just turn on the music as well so that it makes us bit better. So today Russell is not there with us, so I'm just using the old format. If Russell was there, then we could have used you know the previous format, which shows you the trades on the live as well. But as discussed, starting from BTC, that's what we have started with respect to the daily plan, right? So if I take out all these analysis part and put you on a 4 hour time frame from the weekly time zones, you can see that the market was trending and taking out the lower side of liquidity, and that has been already took. And yesterday, if you have observed the post which I posted on the morning, if market is sustaining this level, so this is the breakout zone which here I have posted. Yeah, this is the breakout zone which we kept on rejecting. We even took a short position from here, expecting the fact that it had a high probability and a low risk, and we have even tried with going against the trend at this point on last couple of days. But then yesterday I have posted, if 109 to 110, if it is sustaining, we could see a really push, and that's what happened with respect to the BTC, right? And what's going to happen today, or what we can expect or play in the BTC is, if any breakout happens, 48% of the time, that's going to be a fake out, right? In history, if you check any breakouts in general, 48% is fake outs, and 52% it's going to be a real breakouts. So in that scenario, considering that scenario, this could be a real breakout or a fake out. We have to wait and see this week closure to take a let's say positional bias with respect to BTC, right? With respect to gold, you might see a couple of my scalping setups as well, but I just want to talk about this particular channel, which was respecting from July 2nd. For this whole month, it was playing out within this channel after a huge downside trend. Even the structure got broke, and people who were smart enough to take a long position here when it was down at 3311 levels and booked profit somewhere close to 3346 and shorted again, and then booked the profit at today's high. If you have closely watched yesterday's message, we have seen a consecutive 5 4-hour candles on a gold, and if the trend is going to be sustained here, so I will just reshare the order flow with respect to gold. It will be much more easy for you to understand as well. With respect to order flow, let me just take you through 4-hour first, and then we can deep dive into that 130. What is the action plan which we are going to do? Okay, so if you look at a trend symmetrical triangle as well as the POC, it is lies between around 3343 at futures. And if the market is able to sustain the POC which has generated right now, or for this particular session, this is the session POC, and this is for the weekly, and this is for the weekly as well. So we are consolidating within this range, and we know for a fact we could get a real markdown with respect to targeting this POC, which is lying at 3317 with respect to futures. If this is the plan, what might happen? We get a breakout and reject, and that's going to be a fake out. If the plan for the market is to take out the highs at 3379 levels with respect to gold, that's going to be somewhere close to 336469 and 72 levels. And if the market is planning for this major sell side order block, which you can see it on 4 hours, which have been initiated from long prior to that trend, right? So if that's the plan, we might get a good reversal initially for the next 4-hour candle opens. That's going to be after the news event at 2 o'clock. We can get into that trend and keep pushing towards high. So what I would like to discuss today, so if we are looking for any trend movements, what I've seen myself and what I have observed, the 3 touch points always makes much more directional move. So if you have 3 consecutive touch points, then this whole consolidation seems to be over. Market doesn't wants to take another low, another high, and another low and another high. I don't think so. That's what I have observed with respect to these kind of channel patterns within previous structures. If that's the same game plan, then we might get a trending move towards upside, focusing on, let's go back on this chart, focusing on from external optimal trade entry to external optimal trade entry, targeting towards 3390. This is the internal rejections we have got, which we were talking about on a 4 hours, which is lies around 3370. So this could be the target for that. So what I'll be looking at the small window which has initiated a good consolidation. If you have been following on the WhatsApp group, You might have seen a couple of days back we have posted this Asia consolidation followed by the manipulation. We could see a good deep distribution that has already happened. And now if you look at where we are at this particular strategy, market is rejecting this particular area. And I'll show you a similar situation which we have happened with respect to BTC. If you're looking for similar kind of a setup with a consolidation and a manipulation and followed by a distribution phase, similarly yesterday we had this level which was 109 210, and this is what happened with respect to another similar kind of a structure, isn't it? So it was rejecting once, twice, and it was rejecting thrice, and then fourth, fifth, and even multiple times rejection, and then it gave a clear breakout. So patience is the key, first and foremost thing, and you might get stopped out multiple times. I can show you the similar example with respect to uh, GBP USD as well. Look at this so, which is tapped into on 2nd July and which has taken as a support earlier, which was earlier as a rejection point, and now it is multiple times this zone is being respected. Whether it is respecting to be as a support or resistance, we have to see. So the idea is to make sure that we are looking for a long-term trend rather than just short-term. If we get a trend with respect to this particular quarter, which has just begun and 10 trading sessions or 10 days have been completed, and we might get even 60 trading sessions, and we have just going to complete 10th trading session tomorrow. Remaining 50 trading sessions are left for this particular quarter. And if we find the right direction with respect to that particular asset which we are looking for, and even if we are able to hold, or if even if we are able to ride the trend, I'm not saying that you have to be a positional trader, you can be a scalper looking for an opportunity every single day with respect to the same trend. What most of the traders we tend to do when the market is moving higher, we tend to look for opportunities to short it. But these kind of a scenario, once this week is closed, from the next week onwards, my plan of action would be going ahead, along with the trend and following actual dips, and to accumulate. If it is happening on the long trade, if it is happening on the short trade, add short position as and when possible, and looking for the scalping opportunities within sessions. So this is the whole plan which I have posted in a detailed write-up. If you have already gone through the write-up, and if you have any questions, any clarifications, I'll be happy to discuss much more things about the topic which we have discussed, and then we can move forward with what is the action plan for reducing your number of trades, and how do you with respect to risk, how do you actually focus on long term gain, and how do you actually make that happen? Because that's the most challenging part, right? We say that when I go back to my diary, I have written multiple times saying that okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I have violated them. This happens with traders, and I'm not sure about others, but this happened with me. But how do I overcome with respect to having a team within E2T, having a team and discussing those challenges? These are all the things which we are going to discuss. So any questions, any doubts, any clarifications, please do let me know. Hassan, hi Hassan, thank you so much for joining from Chennai. Mahalakshmi Trading, hello sir. Hi Mahalakshmi, call me brother. Hi Sarif sir, can you check MPS Limited? I'm invested in it. Can you check the stock? MPS Limited, let me check that. Please mute the background music. Okay, but since I'm completely going on low tone, it will be much more easy for us to go back and check. Let me just quickly take you through the charts, which one he was mentioning. MPS Limited. So don't please do not consider this as any stock recommendation or any kind of buy and sell signals. Please consider purely for your educational purpose, Mr. Safar. You were discussing about MPS Limited, isn't it? Let me just quickly take you through MPS. And I think, let me get rid of NVIDIA. MPS Limited. Okay, so you're talking about, let's go back and check what is happening with respect to monthly, first and foremost thing. Okay, so strong push which has started from IPO, strong push, and then the IPO pump and dump has already been happened. I think you might have to go through screener and yes, I haven't heard about this company, so I'm just looking at the fundamentals with respect to B2B learning platform solutions, company providing education research for corporates, love new growth trajectory. About okay, all right. 10 times its books value. That's completely fine for a new company which has more than on an average 30 is the average PE ratio, I think, with respect to um, these kind of organizations, and market cap looks good, and 33 is the PE. And let's go back and check at the operating profit, whether it is increasing on a month on month and a quarter on quarter. Yes, we can see a clear numbers with respect to operating profits. Let's go back and quickly check with respect to, okay, so an interesting fact, I haven't done any detailed analysis, but total liabilities, if you just check this one along with operating profit is getting increased, but this is something which is even increasing with the total liabilities. So might be startup scenarios. Let's go back and quickly look into the technicals on a monthly basis. Okay, so a lot of accumulations are happening. On a weekly structure, we can see that market is pushing towards upside, taking out this liquidity after this imbalance zone, and we can even see that prior structure, the higher highs are followed. And let's go back and check for daily. So roughly looking at this charts, we might have to redo an analysis, but roughly looking at this charts, this is at premium, I would say. I won't be looking for any sort of a swing trade at this point because it is already trading within premium. I'll wait for a discounted zone. I'm not sure, whether you're looking for a long-term positional bias, but if I enter here, then I'll be looking for adding this into my SIP and looking for average it down until I get an opportunity to re-enter. I will look for any kind of an opportunity to enter within these particular zone. Sorry. So this is the zone I'll be looking to enter as a discounted zone into this particular stock or particular asset. So Safar, hope this made some clarification. Whether you're looking to trade on a weekly or a swing or a scalping, I do not know. Please have a look and have a detailed analysis about the structure. Go through screener and do your own analysis with respect to a detailed company structure, and then you can get more detailed version of it. I want to know more about the global employment program. Yes, we will discuss that as well. So before moving ahead with the global employment program or any sort of E2T prop, I would like to take you through some of the examples which I have already shared, but I'll quickly share what has been happening. If you see this $10,000 instant capital. This is what all about the GEP, Global Employment Program, isn't it? So if you start with this account, this one we have particularly traded live, and we have took around 46 trades, and you can see couple of losses and few profits. You can see more often, just a sec, yeah, more often losses than profits. You can see 29-30 losses. Just a sec, guys, let the news even get it down. Says we need to see a roadmap moving forward on how Ukraine conflict can be concluded. Okay, so there is going to be a stronger sanctions on Russia is an available option. So what I've seen with respect to Trump playing the cards, whenever there is a bad news is going to happen with respect to numbers, I've seen the similar time, the war news or the ceasefire or Russia and Ukraine come pop on it, and it will dilute the news even which has happened. So maybe the same cards are going to play at 1:30. Let's see, we have another 30 more minutes. So I was saying that, similarly we have more losses. Still we are up by 2.5%. So this is the strategy, or this is the style which we are expecting from new traders like you. This is the own platform, Simple Traders. This is the in-house platform which you can trade with respect to all the assets, including cryptocurrencies, European equities, US equities, world indices, which includes Nasdaq, FTSE, Australian indices, Euro stocks, France, German, Hong Kong, even Nifty and Bank Nifty. You can trade with the world indices. You can trade all the major minor currencies, commodities, exotic, even major metals as well, right? Let's go back to keep it all. So what we want to see, if you have already gone through the website, E2T platform, right? If you go through the website, if you go through the pricing and plans, if you go to the global employment opportunity, if you guys just need a link, I'll just post it right away so that it will be much more easy for you to go through the website and see all the details about the employment program. Guys, you can also share your doubts here. Yes, if you have any doubts, any clarifications, please do ask me so that it will be much more easy to share in an open forum. So this is the link which I've posted, which is there in the description as well. So if you click on that link, we want you to, take it very slow. First and foremost thing, understand this is a career opportunity. Anywhere, if you, go for any other job, the people will be asking for about your experiences and the credentials, what you have achieved in that particular stage, and we want you to perform in a realistic environment with a simulated capital to prove 5 consecutive stages. The first stage is going to be tougher. When I say first stage is going to be tougher, you have to hit a 10% target growth on a 10K account. And we are not saying that you have to do it for free. You can get a 90% of the profits when you make 10% on a 10K account. Let's go back and see what is the process for 20K. So if you have already observed that with E2T prop, you get a free scale up, right? You don't have to pay anything for the 20K account which you are purchasing. You get a free scale up towards 20K account from a 10K to 20K. But at the same time, you have to hit only 5% of the profit, which is again $1,000 on a 20K account. Still you can request for 90% of the payout. So first stage is going to be 10%, and rest all stages you get a free scale up to the next stage. 20K, you have to hit a 5%. When you hit a 5%, again you get a free scale up to 30K. Again you get a free scale up to 40K and a 50K. So once you scale up to all 5 stages, then you can get hired for a 12-month contractual period. When I say 12-month contract, it's a rolling contract. You can work remotely, you can be anywhere in this world and get 100k live capital from our prop account. Also, you'll be getting a $500 guaranteed base salary, which means whether you make profit or make losses, uh, you can get $500. But we will have a maintain 3% average. At least what you have to make a 3% average for a rolling 3-month performance review. What does that mean? In 3 consecutive months, if you're not able to make 3% profit, then that contract will be invalid or nullified. But as you are a trader who have proven your skill by hitting 10% and a 5% each on consecutive stages, your job becomes much 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 more easier when you are on a 12 consecutive rolling contract. Once you complete that, if you are interested, you can relocate to our trading floor in London, and you can get hired as a full-time employment with the sponsorship opportunity from Educate to Trade. At the same time, though those time we will discuss a detailed analysis about what is your pay scale with respect to the visa opportunities and the long-term goal. So this is something which has I have never seen anywhere else. I'm not saying because I work in this organization. I have never seen with respect to any other organization providing you a great opportunity if you just put your time and effort. And I have seen myself couple of traders make years of their strategy, risk management, and fine tune to become profitable. How are we going to make it profitable with respect to the E2T prop, which you have already seen yourself? I'm just going to give you a right risk management, which is working for me, uh, the right approach towards your 10k. If you're starting with a $10,000 account, I would highly suggest you focusing on a risk rather than making quick profit and getting 90% payouts. If you're just focusing on quick returns, you will end up losing, because I have seen multiple traders, multiple candidates sitting with risk manager. I've seen myself, they keep on going up with high lot size. People who ask in the forum, what is the maximum lot size I can place on a 10k account, I don't think they are going to win in the long run. Because why I'm saying this, I've seen multiple times myself experiencing the same problem, and I've seen multiple other traders also same facing doing the same thing. So with respect to E2T platform, and if you are starting with a global employment program, this is the highest suggestion you can make a note of. And you can check this Excel file in the link in description, which I have already posted. You should never ever risk more than a 0.025 percentage of your capital, which means $25 on this capital. Your 1% is $100. You are even dividing that into you know 4 trades, and you are going to risk per trade $25. If it wins, you can reward is something which is not always, you can uh, keep a say that I'll only close if it reaches 1:3, I'll only close if it reaches 1:2, I'll only close 1:1. That is something which market has to offer it, right? You might be booking profit. If you have seen the structure which I have used, which is similar, I have booked a profit for $19 as a scratch. I have booked the 1:2. This trade particularly went into scratch. This trade, risking $25, made a profit of $232, which is 1:10, right? Another one, 1:8. People would be thinking that if I have a drawdown of, profit of 3%, or if I have a global employment program, and if I have a 2% target, how can you book a profit of 1:10? The suggestion what we are providing us sorry the suggestion what we are providing is, we don't want you to go with a higher lot size like you always do. I'm not saying particularly about any individual. I'm saying that this is the most way people try to approach prop. This is the most way you know people used to say. When I was sitting with Enzo and did a podcast, he was mentioning the same thing, right? Any prop firm can give you as, if you go back and check this particular podcast which we did, which will take you through just 5 minutes of your valuable time, and so clearly states that, if you respect the prop firm and if you manage with respect to the risk, this is how the highest returns you can make. So people who were asking me, how do I trade with respect to 1:10, 1:8, this is the real time example I can show you guys. This is how I will be suggesting each and everyone who want to give it a try with the prop account, right? So if I'm repeating the same thing again and again, if people are watching it for the second and third time, I'm really sorry for you guys, but I want to instill this process works for anyone who want to give it a long term goal, right? That's it from my end on prop account and risk management, how you can start with E2T prop, what is the benefit you have. If you have any questions, clarifications, I'll be happy to discuss. If not, then we can directly proceed further with the live trading, which we are looking for the unemployment claims. Any questions, any clarification, guys? Please do let me know. Anyone? All right, let's go back and check what is happening with respect to gold. Yeah. Look at that move. So I think if you see from a different chart, you can see there was a gap opening. You might have to play around with the charts, isn't it? So this is the breaker as well as an imbalance within this entire structure, right? Which has continued further. If you look this particular channel, which is trying to form multiple times, it got broke, and most retail traders would enter short position considering this as a breakdown. I'm not saying that they are going to be wrong and this is not the strategy, but what I want to think differently from 90% of the people who are making losses in the market is just go back and check with respect to the order flow. Yeah, Hassan, I'll come back to you in a minute. So if you see the value areas on the order flow on a 15 minutes, we could see that a clear uh, buy side imbalance which is there. And if I just remove all of those stuff, if you think from a trend line trader who's looking for an opportunity, we got a breakout, and then this is just a retest on that breakout, and we are seeing two confluences together. One is having a positive buyer strength followed by volume reduction, followed by this could be a possible reversion, right? This is what happening with respect to order flow. And what I'll be looking for on this particular area with respect to lower time frame would be, I'll be waiting for below this value area if the market is, you know, giving a delta divergence, first thing you can see, sellers are more here with respect to that particular candle that has pushed down. The next candle or the following candle at 115 closure of the candle, if we are able to see, you know, a delta divergence, basically we are seeing more uh, sellers, we might see more sellers, might see sellers are getting trapped, and then we might see less buyers, but market is pushing upside on a 15 minutes. So if we find that particular situation, you can see now volume is purely less, right? We have another 8 more minutes for this particular candle to complete, so that we can, you know, analyze this. And the POC has to be on the wick. So these are all the confluences which I'll be looking for entering long opportunity with respect to gold. Why long opportunity? Why not short opportunity? Because as I said earlier, I was looking at multiple, you know, touch points on the trend line trading, and more often we have seen these kind of patterns, right? This always respects this channel and gives multiple fake outs. At Asia session in the early morning, when I was watching the charts, looking at this particular move, this is what we see, right? The remaining things we don't see it at all. So on a 30 minutes window, it broke down and gave a fake out, thinking that it might follow a structural break, but it pushed upside. And even further, the next time, you know, you can say this is the similar pattern which is formed, and I'm if we are able to find out a similar scenario like this is what we were discussing on a 15 minutes, right? We should see a sharp sell off, but at the same time, this sharp sell off has to go with a low volume, a delta divergence, and POC at wick. If we see these three things before the news event, I'll be taking a long opportunity. What happens if the market pushes down and we miss out on a short opportunity? So what's going to happen, or what is my trading plan? Rather than saying what is going to happen, I'm not sure whether it is going to happen or not. Even if I'm wrong, then if the market goes down, let's say if the market goes down, follow through, and if we enter take an entry, and if our stop loss get hit, then in next 30 minutes after the news event, we will have our next 4-hour candle is opening, right? While the 4-hour candle opens somewhere here, this could form a rebalance to the price action which is followed through the sell side, somewhere at this level, somewhere at this level, or somewhere even at this level. It should give us a wick, and then from there it should fall further, right? Targeting this particular area. So this way, you are in this casino, you are going to play, thinking that I, I'm not sure which direction the market is going to go, but I'm thinking in probabilities with respect to retail traders, and thinking from a, you know, not so retail traders. Even I'm a retail trader with respect to liquidity and with respect to the capital, but this is what I'll be looking at, particular zone for the unemployment claims. And what we have seen previously, we have seen a couple of positive impacts with respect to saying that on a weekly basis people were, uh, you know, the less people were actually claiming the unemployment on the last two things, a positive impact, which might be the same scenario, but both dollar index and gold might move in the same direction. So the good news can be a bad news, which is the most expected one most of the time. This time it could be a good news with a good moves on the goal. So this is what my plan of action for this particular trade, and where we can keep the stop losses. That's the next question, right? Before discussing about what is going to be the stop loss, I'll come back to Hassan. How to buy the prop firm challenge and the rule. If you click on the link which I have posted, Savvy FX trades, which I'll repost it if you haven't done. Go to our website, go to our pricing and plans, go to global employment program. You will be able to apply it there. And to get a $10,000 instant capital, we have reduced our price from a $300. You can start off with a just $150, right? So that's the uh, plan and the pricing if you are talking about. And if you're talking about what is the fee, minimum trading days, and request the payout, you just have to trade minimum 7 days. If you go back to our terminal and see, minimum we are expecting you to trade for 7 days, take a 10% profit, and maximum you can take n number of days. There is no target for taking a 10% profit. There is no target, as in says you can take a month to achieve 10% profit, and still you can request for the payout, right? So once you hit the 10% target, you can request for the payout. Yes, fill the bucket and in a bucket 7 example, that bucket is like 7 liter. Okay, so which is 7,000, right? About 7,000, isn't it? Show it like from a trading perspective. So in 7,000, if you can do it in 3 seconds, which means you can do it 20 times. Okay, right? So 10 minutes before we discussed saying that we should see a delta divergence, right? So this is a sample of what's happening. Look at a classic example. Out of 1.32 people or 1K people have participated in this particular candle. We can see more sellers than buyers with respect to delta. We can even see that the value area got just tapped in. So from the very next candle, this is on the wick, but just 2 seconds it got below. So I'm just waiting for the next same thing is going to happen with respect to this. We can also see that POC structure got shift from the top to bottom, and the first scenario we might not even get filled with this area, but there is no point in taking a new 7 trade like this. I would be focusing, even if I miss this trade, that's completely fine, but I'll be waiting for this area to be taken out and then take an entry. So let me just start placing my orders. Let me just have a look on lower time frame for a confirmation. There are hundreds of companies, top companies. So some people use it. So while you are doing, there's a stop below the higher, potential higher low signs to catch the move back to the upside. Generally, like when times of period moving averages, price likes to retrace around this level, which you can call a value area on a trend. And if you can get entries around these levels here, so you put the size of stop below the lower high, you catch nice, which means you just moves. Place the trade and yeah. Was it like this? It happens enough to be significant to give you that. So that's the thing. So by this thing, you cannot achieve anything. Okay. Right. All right. How do you know so this is how you know, right? So the price moves from the lower left up to the upper right. Yeah, right. That's generally what a trending market will look like, right?
Generally. It's unusual. Clear on the monthly. There was good opportunities earlier.
Asset calculation.
If you look at this morning, you say New Zealand or US, look at it on the micro time frame.
Can you go back to
Where do we keep the stop? That's the first question. We might get 3316.
A bit choppy.
It's one opportunity, one great entry which you can get with respect to this style is the opening is at 3315, and if we get an opportunity to enter below the opening of the day, and if we even if we are wrong, so entry would be 3315. Entry 3315 SL would be 3311. Okay.
You got the. Yeah, I know. When I used to be in that little section, that get it.
so one is a very decent guy. One is a very decent guy. He is study his business.
Well, early.
And he is a very there is
Okay, done. So I've just updated my entries, guys. So some of the other confluences which I look for, which is even you can consider call it as a paid one. Whenever we have a 5 consecutive runs, if you take out 4 hours, 1 minute, 5 minutes, it works on every time frame. There is a chance 70% of probabilities, if you go back and backtest with respect to your strategy, you will be able to see. So when you have a consecutive 15, so we are in 15 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5th candle, if this closes bearish, and there is a high chance that market might push towards upside, right? So this is going to be a counter trend closure for this particular range. So that's what even we were waiting for, on the, let's say, on the order flow confluences. Let's go back and put some orders in. So gold, I'm looking for funded account buy. It's a pending order. Let's go back and check. If I enter at 3315, and if I keep a stop loss at 3311, and I'm going to lose $4 in this particular trade, and this is worth putting around $24 if I go with 0.06, right? This is the limit order which I've placed, and if I want to buy again, and I'm going to say pending order 3314, stop loss remains same, and if I do that, it's going to be $3 risk, so we can increase up to $27. So 2 trades which we have placed, One is with respect to $25 and one is with respect to even lower entry, $27. Pending orders, you guys can see entry at 3315, 3314. Might get, flipped off, but even if we miss this entry, as I said, we will get the following entry. So we have risked only $50 for this particular trade, and we have even $150 left for the day, which is the maximum limit, right? And I don't want to risk $150 by any chance, but I'll make sure that if we get a good opportunity, we will get into the levels. So let's see. One, 8 more minutes to go.
Isn't it? So you understand how things work.
All right. Yes, guys. So let me share.
When you're taking, when you are giving over there like 6, then you are getting much more bigger. So
Let's have a clean look how we can have delta divergence. We can even have positive delta and have a negative candle. So if you do candle additions with respect to this particular area, okay, if you see uh, you know the POC structure shift and it has just took this level, it might play around within this imbalance and this imbalance. Let's see. Haven't placed the order. This is anyhow going to be on the spot. So I have given those levels to the platform. Let's see if we get an entry, or if we miss that entry as well, that's completely fine, but we will look for opportunities to enter. So now what is happening with respect to more buyers are getting trapped. You can see the buyers notches, right? This is going to be the buy side imbalance. More people are aggressively buying before the news event, but the last 5 minutes of this candle has to be seen.
I mean, like, what is the? Do you think? What do you understand the resistance level?
Guys, hope this, so far whatever we have discussed, hope this live is helping you in any way. If yes, because after the news event we can close down our session, but if yes, please do comment down your valuable feedbacks on the live session right after this completes, so that we can make sure that we are adding, removing so many repeated contents, and we can make the best life for yourself to get benefit from most of the values. Yeah, so please do let me know, like, comment, and share it with your friends and family. And also please make sure that this is the time to refer and get more of your people into our community, because even if you are starting with a free trial, we do provide all these values for free. Because what I have seen myself and what I have gone through on my journey on the trading era was, it's absolutely people looking for getting money from you, and we don't do that. You guys can learn as much as possible from anyone on the floor and reap the best out of it. So the volume is getting increased. We can even see that the price is about to close. I just want to see that if the buyers are pushing upside, and at the same time, if the buyers are the POC is coming above the wick. So the closure has to be below this level, which is 3328. Yeah, the closure is pushing higher. Even buyer strength is so much. Do you think in 3 minutes this candle is going to close bearish? Now, I think it's gonna take out this level. Let's see. Anyways, we have the news event. I'll be right away here and see. What do you think? Sorry, 1 second. Just it, sorry, guys. Just a quick.
So what you can do, you can take a picture from there and wait for like an hour.
Yeah, POC got shift. Even, you know, look at that entries, man, within the news event. I think this is going to be something interesting. Let's see. Am I missing a long-term view? Just I'm zooming out. So because always we will be kind of, yeah, less than a minute for the news.
So if you place the no, you don't need to do anything with that. Place that because you have already put your service. Go to your notification.
3319. 3329 at futures is 3320, which is $9 difference at the moment. 3319 at 3311. Yeah. So most
10 seconds.
stop loss. Let's stop talking and start placing the orders.
Just where the chart is moving. The surface was not set open. Not even near R2, near R2. There is a small dot.
227,000,
Yeah.
that's 227,000, and continuing, it's 1.965 million. So just to repeat, 227,000 expected, 235.
235 expected, 227.
And continuing claims, 1.965 million expecting.
It's a good news. As I said, good news is going to be the bad one. So most of the people might short now, as this is as per the plan. And let's see.
Now only for 300, close it. Yeah. Now go to indices again. Click on FTSE 100. Add to workspace. On top, not this one. On top, add to workspace. Right. Go right. Right. Yeah. Add to workspace. Okay. Click on that dot again. See?
I think 3318. We were looking at 3315 levels, right? And
Not like this. Yeah. Above that. Not that much.
still waiting. Haven't placed any market orders.
Now drag your limit around 800. Around 800.
Let me go back. Okay, on the lower time frame structures, you can see that there is a clear consolidation and followed by a couple of candles taking its support, which we might, you know, so so
You understand now? And if you want to get the information,
the average consolidation area ranges between 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3,
in the notification bar you have the entry point.
2, 3,
You have
4.
showed you. So it is a short.
So ideal entry would be somewhere close to 3313.65. If we get 3313.65 would be, you know, an ideal entry. Slight positive for USD. Yes, it is slight positive because of the positive news this time might not act as a negative for DXY.
So why should we close it now? Now tell me why do you close it now? Like no, you are aiming for 60 pounds or 16 pounds. And before this, if you want to close this, then it is not a trade actually. You must 90.
So most of the people, would have entered here long. We can see the values are getting increased. The volume is less. Basically, it's a kind of an non-event, right? The volume is less, and we can see the price is pushing. So I don't mind letting a couple of points go away and even missing that entry. If we don't get that level, no trade. That's okay.
To learn, not to make profit.
We'll wait for 5 more minutes, and if we are not getting an entry, I'll keep posting you this update on the community, because I don't want you to wait without having an entry. Because if you have an entry, that it would be, makes much more interesting for the viewers to watch, isn't it? So let's go back and see. We have couple of minutes as well that might
It is all about staying in the game. It's like a test. It's not a treatment.
And one last thing, what I want to, even discuss about a particular strategy.
Now watch it.
Please clarify these doubts. What if I breach daily profit cap? So if you hit a daily profit limit, the system will automatically close your positions at 2%, and it will make you inactive for the particular day, and you can start trading from the very next day. How to buy prop firm challenges and the rules? Please click on the link in description which you are watching on this live. There will be a registration page. Go to the registration page. Please do join the community which we are in, and we can send you the QR codes, crypto payments, and other payment methods. You can try with the prop. What is the fee, minimum trading days, and when we can request payout, which we have already discussed. So I think these questions we have already discussed, isn't it? So one thing which I want to discuss about this particular plan. Okay, so previously when we had the similar, sell-offs, the sample, you can see how people behaved. This is the similar area we were in, kind of, and pushed all the way up, and then gave sell entry, then sustained, then again retested, and again retested 1, 2, 3, 4 times, or fourth time it gave the retest and then fell down. Let's see the second scenario. It gave one sell entry, retest, short entry, retest, even back to the zone, and then short entry. Even on the next session, it has given retest. So we don't even miss this time, as I said. Even this pushes up or pushes down, this could be first time sell, retest, sell, retest, and then sell, and the retest. Now we have this imbalance zone, right? Now you can call this as an important zone on a 15 minutes. And if the market is rejecting this particular zone, we might get further fall, and we might get miss this move on the short side. But what I think, what we have explained becomes true. At 2 o'clock, after 30 minutes, we might get a re-entry to short it again from this zone, or a next zone which is forming. Okay, so that's the plan for the day, plan for gold. I hope this helped you in any way. Please do let me know in the feedbacks and comment section. Wish you nothing less than success ahead, guys, and all the very best those who are trying with the global employment opportunity. Let's grow together. Thank you so much. Have a good day.